I see this problem all the time. It seriously is the epidemic that's holding back hitting. It's holding you or your kid away from being a better baseball player. The problem with your swing isn't your swing. It's, are you loading up your swing the right way? Don't get me wrong, every hitter is totally different, but every good hitter gets to a good loaded position to hit. Hopefully I can help you with this today. Before you watch the rest of this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be posting a lot more instructional videos like this, trying to make this hard sport simple. Today I'm just gonna go over simply getting into our hip and learning how to really maximize the most out of this. I've worked with thousands of hitters, and what I see a lot of these times that these hitters are doing is they are loading their back hip, they are rocking and pushing down and colliding forward. And yes, this may work for some, but I'll put it like this. If I'm pushing down, I'm just squatting and I'm pushing down to the ground just by pushing into my quad. Okay, what do you think you use more in your swing, your quad or your hips? Your answer is your hips. So we need to load into those hips too. I want us to push down into the ground, but also when I'm pushing down to the ground, I have to act like I'm going down a slide. And what I mean by that, a slide doesn't just go down, a slide doesn't just go around, a slide goes down and around at the same time. I need to try to do this around my back leg. Okay, so what's a really good way that we can learn how to do this? Yes, I can tell you how to do it, but how do we apply this into a drill, into a regular swing? I'll show you. Start out with a wide stance, okay? If you get into a post-stride position, that works great. So from here, don't allow your feet to come off the ground when we stride, okay? You can still turn your feet, feel loose, don't tighten up, don't be just like locked in the ground like this, but just heel lift if anything. Don't stride forward. From here, what I need you to think, you're still pushing down into this backside, but the most important thing that needs to happen is you gotta try to take your back pocket and try to turn it as you're pushing down. A great cue that I like to think of is not only just your pocket, you're trying to take your front shoulder in your pocket at the same time this way. One of my good friends, Josh Cathcart, Hitting Done Right, check out his stuff if you can, by the way. He uses a bat and he just goes like this. And if you can get your knob of your bat to kind of turn here, you're gonna see how that turns away from me. And it's almost like this turn like this way. That's what should happen, because if I'm just going here, I'm not coiling to this hip, I'm just pushing down. But if I can go and get this top of my bat to turn, perfect. Or you can even think about this going towards the second baseman, or if you're lefty, obviously your shortstop. But here, I gotta turn around this back leg. Now think about it like we're throwing a med ball, right? If I was gonna throw a med ball, I wouldn't just go here and then throw it with my arms. I'm gonna load it back almost behind my back pocket in order to throw that thing. So the same thing when I'm gonna be loading up into here. I wanna load up like I'm trying to hide that weight behind my back pocket, then fire through my hip. The same way I go into my hip, I want to go out of my hip. I don't want to stand up out of it. I don't want to jump forward. I want to coil in, uncoil that same way. And then once you get comfortable with that coiling movement without lifting your foot, now be able to use that foot. Make sure that you load before you lift, because sometimes we lift before we load, we can lose that back hip. Load, then lift. Making it a lot easier for us to actually use that damage from our hip. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure you click the subscribe button here. Again, I'm Coach DR. Thanks again for watching.